Welcome everybody to episode 40 of Xiàbān Hòu. That's a bit of a landmark.
It is. People always say, when you reach 40, actually in the years, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, kind of makes sense. Like when you hit 40 years old as a man, you're a real man.
Is that how it works?
The goalpost keeps moving for me. When I was younger, I'd be like, man, when I'm in my 20s, that's going to be so old. And then when I hit my 20s, I'd be like, oh, it'll be my 30s.
It's just it's a human condition thing. Have you noticed, there's mugs and stuff? It's always like, life starts at 40, but then it's, life starts at 50. And then it's like, the older the bull, the harder the horn, or whatever, it'll be like, life starts at 70.
I just picture
it's just like, whatever.
It's WPC, dude.
It's also just, cringe. You're a rotting corpse is what you are. And, you're just degrading as you go along.
Can I explain white people cringe?
Yeah, you can.
White people cringe is like, me and Winston came up with it.
Yeah, WPC. Yeah.
It's like certain things that only like white people do. Like, for example, and I think this is a perfect example.
Like Christian rap.
My grandma gave my mom this mug.
Right.
And it was a cartoon woman.
Okay.
And it said, birthdays are like French fries. The more you have, the bigger your butt gets. Tell me that's not WPC.
Yeah, that is because isn't
that WPC?
That is.
And then also Christian rap's a great example.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
Christian rap is WPC.
Yep.
90s like instructional videos where like white women are like teaching how to jazzercise. That's WPC.
Or how to like communicate with horses or some shit.
Yes, that's WPC. Yeah. We have lots of examples. Yeah. It's a thing. Anyway, I do want to say that welcome to all the new people, new hoes.
Yep.
Welcome to the show. It's our secret show. It's where we cover the stuff that we can't cover on YouTube.
That's right.
We have a special treat for you today. But first, I just want to run down. We cover a topic. We open it up to a Q&A. Save your questions for the Q&A because I'll also put a Q in front of your questions. So
that's how we differentiate in the chat. Go wild in the chat.
Yep.
But if you ask a question now, we're not going to get to it. So just wait until the Q&A opens and put a Q in front of your question, and there we go. And remember, this is a VIP club, so to speak. Yeah. And so you can feel free to ask us anything you like. I mean, we'll pretty much be able to answer anything.
Yeah.
Unless it's too gross. Yeah, sure.
We're doing the follow-up to Mr. Hong.
Oh, yeah. We're doing one of the follow-ups.
But did we have a throwback in there? Because people that are new won't know what we're talking about.
Oh, actually, no, we don't, actually.
Do you have anything on the... You probably have it on the desktop.
Do I?
Yeah,
Maybe.
It'll probably be episode 38, right?
Is it episode
37 or 38? Just, I think it's super important. That was something that slipped my mind. I was like... I just remembered now. I was like, we should probably set it up.
You're probably right. Yeah. Let's see if I can find it.
So while he looks for it, basically, and people are just screaming "hong hong" in the chat.
Okay. Well, then they know what it is.
No. But there's a lot of new people.
Okay.
So basically, in South Africa, they have a parliamentary system like the UK, and there was this debate going on with this dude and this woman, and all of a sudden, instead of actually challenging what she had to say in Parliament, he just started making weird noises, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Right?
Sorry, yeah.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen. And so we're going to set that up because Winston has a sequel today.
Yeah,
we call him Honorable Magician.
Yeah.
His actual name is Honorable Medisha, but we call him Honorable Magician because everyone misheard it.
No, we're not the only ones. The actual auto subtitles on YouTube calls him Honorable Magician as well.
So it's now Honorable Magician.
Yeah, it's got to be. Why can I not find our
We don't only cover China stuff here, but I do want to say, stay tuned, by the way. We're going to be talking about how people confess their love, or the concept of Biao Bai.
Yeah.
Which is a very Chinese concept, and we have some videos of people failing, and we have some beautiful stories of successes. We want to hear your stories as well. It's a very cringe / very Chinese way of telling someone you love them.
Oh, here we go. I did find the original So let me just open this in the right thing. It's going to be a little weird, guys. Sorry. This. Okay, there we go. I should be able to bring it up.
Just the funny part, obviously.
Yeah, I'll fast forward for you guys.
So,
not like last time.
Honorable Magician is part of a political party in South Africa called COPE.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Like
called Cope.
Copium.
Yeah. Let me get
very
to
funny,
get to the part that we want to see here. Fast forward a little bit. So
He withdraws his truth.
yes.
Here's the Honorable Magician himself.
See.
3.8% to GDP.
Anyway, so he's making a point, and then a member from the ANC, the African National Congress,
The other party.
this woman over here, she makes a counter to him, and this is his rebuttal. Okay.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. You see, some of us don't know English properly.
Can
and
you-
then
Honorable
we
Madisa?
can only come and say,
Honorable
hong,
Madisa?
hong, 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 like that
Honorable
member.
Matisha,
Yes, hong, hong, hong,
Honorable Matisha,
hong, hong.
Honorable Matisha.
That's the only thing that she knows.
Honorable Matisha,
Yes, thank you.
Honorable Matisha. Yesterday, honorable member, yesterday in this house, Honorable Carter, who is your member, raised a point of order around members who were making animal noises. And we asked them to
I don't know
withdraw.
what
And
animals
can
in
you
the hall.
please withdraw
I have
what
no
you
idea.
have just done?
So he's supposed to
Chairperson.
withdraw.
Chairperson,
I got your.
motho o itse sentle gore ke bua Setswana go mo heta. O ya yazi into yoba ngithetha isiXhosa. Lisikhuluma
Order, honorable members.
ungaphikisa kodwa uyandazi.
Order, honorable
Ungazi
members.
apha
Honorable
uthetha
Pando.
Le nna ke tseba Sepedi, ke bolela Sepedi.
Honorable
Bolela Sepedi.
Matisha.
That's exactly what she's doing. And
Honorable
we're leaving her to
Matisha,
do
you
that.
have actually exhausted your time. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chairperson.
Hong, hong,
Honorable
hong.
Chairperson.
To hell with you.
Honorable Chairperson.
Honorable
That's my
Matisha,
favorite part.
can
It's just like, to hell with you. Anyway, you get the idea.
Well, there's some other jokes in there. But we don't need to recap it.
Yeah.
He, basically gets in trouble, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, stop, right? You can't do this anymore. And so they asked him to officially withdraw his
Yeah.
statement. But instead, he keeps saying like, "I'll withdraw this truth."
did you
Yeah.
mention the statement as it has been alleged?
And he keeps sneaking in the hole.
Oh, yeah.
Can I go on, Chairperson? The Chief Whip, I withdraw that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I withdraw.
Honorable Matisha,
Honorable Chairperson.
Honorable Matisha,
Honorable Chair.
I
Not
have
happy.
addressed you on these noises.
Anyway,
yeah,
he does
he
it
slips
again
in
and
the
again.
homes,
Yeah. He absolutely is so unruly in Parliament, just from the point of view that he never listens when he's told to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've got a new clip for you. Okay, admittedly, this one's not nearly as funny, but
By the
it's
way, this
still-
is just a cultural insight into South Africa.
Yeah, we'll be getting to the main
Yeah,
Chinese
for
thing
sure.
in a minute, but let me explain something about South African food. One of the main things, like, you could say in China, one of the main foods is rice.
Yeah.
Okay, it's main starch, rice. Okay, in America, I don't know,
Bread or potatoes.
potatoes, bread, pizza, whatever.
Pizza is the
know,
base.
yeah, you know what I'm
I
saying?
wish.
Anyway, in South Africa, one of the bread, of course, is a mainstay, and then pap, or millipap as it's called. And it's a bit weird because it took a very long time for me when I moved out of South Africa to call millies corn, because it's corn, right? But in South Africa, it's called a millie. So I grew up my whole life calling it millies, Oh, I want to eat some millies, and
corn.
or millie, but it's corn. And it's weird to me to call it corn still. It feels strange. But anyway, millipap is like a maize meal, okay?
Cornmeal, yeah.
Yeah. So this is what it is. I'll show you in the background. It's like a powder.
Yeah, just cornmeal. Gotta be like cornmeal, right?
Yeah, you like mix it, boil it with water, basically, is what you do, and put salt and crap in it. It's a mainstay.
Yeah.
Millipap, but it's
like a
also,
starch.
it's kind of, that's what poor people eat. It's like the main, like, it can sustain you.
I see.
But it's also bad because I'm sure you've seen, like, when you see those, like, give money to Africa and you see those young kids with their, like, bloated stomachs, because they only eat this. and it's it'll give you
there's no
malnutrition.
There's no nutrition. It's calories.
Yeah,
but
and
no
then they get like
nutrition.
kwashiorkor or whatever that's called. But yeah, so this is the base instead of rice, and I guess the same would happen if you just ate rice only or only white bread.
Absolutely, it'd be the same.
Yeah.
Is a starch side is fine.
Yeah. So I'll show you how it's normally, and I'll actually get out of here, and I can explain what's being said. Let me turn up the volume in here so we can hear it as well. Okay. So this guy is showing these presenters for Jacaranda FM, which is a Pretoria radio station, how to eat this stuff.
You just take it with your hand, just dig in with your hand, and then of course with the acha.
You take a bunch, chunk of pap,
Yes.
and then dip it in the acha.
Dan dip jy dit so 'n bietjie in die acha in.
Ja.
Natuurlik. So dis baie lekker. Dan vat jy so 'n bietjie van 'n hap.
Yeah, he's just saying like, and you take it and dip it in the acha. Acha is kind of like a Indian's sauce, I guess.
Yeah,
kind
like
of.
almost like a
It's got mangoes in it and weird
almost
stuff.
like a jelly or a salsa.
Yeah, it's like a salsa,
Yeah.
but it's really quite spicy.
Very salty.
And then he's like, naturally, just take a little bite.
Right.
Says
Sien jy dan 'n breek jy 'n stukkie vleis af.
he's like, then break a little piece of meat off.
Oh, okay.
Daai is 'n hele chunk pap daai lali. En
Dan
dan
breek jy 'n stukkie vleis af en eet hom ook so saam met die pap.
He's like, oh, break off a little piece of meat and then eat it together with the pup.
Okay, just like you would eat like rice or something.
But you do, like, it's quite common to eat with your hands.
Sure.
Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know,
A
just
lot
in
of
case.
people in the chat trying to say, "Oh, it's like grits or whatever." Grits is like almost a porridge.
I've tried grits before. It's nothing like
No,
that.
it's not like this.
I mean, it's hard to explain because
Yeah.
it looks like mashed potatoes if you just look at it,
Yes.
kind of, but
Yeah.
it's really kind of dry. It's dry, and like you can see, you just pick it up. I hate it. I think it sucks. I think it's like one of the worst.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, I know, but it's terrible.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean,
I never
it's-
had it.
It's flavorless. That's the thing. Like, mashed potato actually has a flavor to it, even if you don't add any spice. Yeah, but it does compared to pop.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
You're better off eating styrofoam in my,
Holy
it's-
shit.
Anyway, the thing is, I don't like it.
Okay.
But most South Africans are proud of it because it's
Sure.
like it's kind of like a South African food.
Right.
And always like pap and vlees, And to me, I'm like, why are you celebrating that?
Right.
It's like saying our national dish is water with seaweed or something. It's
Yeah.
like, ooh, celebrate the water. I don't understand.
Dude, guess what?
What?
South Korea's seaweed soup is like the most important dish.
Okay.
So you just pissed off a lot of Koreans.
Yeah, but you're not celebrating the water part of it, is what I'm saying.
No, I'm just laughing at UD888's comment. He said one pizza for every grain of rice. And I'm just imagining
dude,
that.
it's
would be
about right, to be honest. It's about right. Anyway, so here we've got Honorable Madisha. Let's see what kind of points he has to
Oh,
make.
Zilong says it's corn flour, not corn meal. That's why it fluffs up like that. That makes sense.
Well, it's called maize meal, though.
Yeah, but meal would mean it's, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, let's take a look. Ace, by the way, is the biggest
Didn't
brand.
pop, but it's give a pap smear.
Gross. Okay, let's see what Honorable Madisha has to say. He's talking about like the minimum wage.
Yes.
The ANC says that workers must get at least 20 rand per hour. Minister,
By the way, a weka is a worker.
Worker, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
So
common
pronunciation.
African accent pronunciation of worker is a weka.
I brought here an example.
It's looking smart with a beard.
Yeah, he always has a
You
beard.
see,
Oh, true.
our
That's longer.
people
Yeah.
eat bread. They eat bread. Now, how much is this? You say, let them get 20 rand. Now here, this is 15 rand. Now, what are our people going to eat? You go to the rural areas. Our people eat pap or umwashu, but then look at what they are eating.
Your time is
This
over.
is 22 rand.
Your time
And
has expired.
these are major problems that we're faced with. And therefore, Chairperson, as I sit down, I want to say the ANC government has failed, but we congratulate the workers.
Point of
They
order.
have won
Point of
today,
order, Chair.
and more must go on
Point of
and fight.
order. Yes, Honorable.
You have
Point
failed.
of order.
So basically, is this supposed to be that bad frame rate?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So honorable magician brought some props to Parliament. He actually physically snuck in a bag of food.
bread and pop.
I don't
Yeah.
think you're supposed to do that.
I don't think so.
Maybe you could say this is my lunch.
Yeah.
Anyway, he busts out the bread, and I guess the point is, I guess the ANC is claiming that they give the workers 20 rand
An hour, yeah.
an hour, right? And he's like, well, what the hell? This already costs 15 rand.
It kind of blows my mind because when I left South Africa, a loaf of bread was like 3 rand something. Obviously, it's inflation and the currency just died.
So he's saying basically your 1 hour of work gets you nothing.
Yeah, you know, you can buy maybe a loaf of bread.
Right.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable members, can we give the minister, she's raising a point of order.
Chairperson, I would like to raise on a point of order. The Honorable Madisha is misleading the House. The bread is not 15 rand. It's a reflection that he's not buying the bread. There's no family. It's 10 rand, 11 rands.
Thank you so much, Honorable
Oh
Minister.
man, this is the time she was being rude.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the polite one in this comparison.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is she implying?
He's got no family and he's not buying the bread. I don't
So
know,
he
but
doesn't know the real
she's
price.
saying it's 11 rand, not 15 rand, which is not a huge difference, but it's
Yeah.
but it's not true. It is 15.
But then she says he has no family.
Yes.
Let us take it as it was just a
laughed,
point of
yeah.
debate, sparkling the debate. Thank you very much. Can I now call upon
On a
Honorable
point of order,
Njobo?
Chairperson. On a point of order, Chairperson.
Yes, Honorable Member, what point of order are you rising on?
Chairperson, the loaf of bread that the Honorable Madisha have shown is in fact 15
Thank you
rand.
so much.
The minister is constantly
Thank you so
sending maybe
much,
perhaps a
Honorable
PA
Member.
to buy the bread. That's
Thank you
why
so
she
much,
don't know
Honorable
how much.
Member.
Smoke.
Yeah, so she's like, well, she doesn't know. She obviously sending a PA to buy her bread because
Yeah.
she doesn't know it is actually 15
She
rand.
had an Afrikaans accent, so in case you did, I've been around it so much because of you introducing me to this stuff. She says the bread is 15 rand.
Yeah.
And because that woman actually hires someone else
She
to
doesn't
go
know.
buy her shit, and she doesn't know.
It's kind of pathetic what they argue about in the fucking
Parliament.
parliament.
That was the point of this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, honorable magician.
Honorable magician, we thought we'd give you a follow-up. Look, there are funnier ones, like where he's actually debating the president, the ex-president of South Africa and having a thing. I'll put together something for you next time.
Okay.
But nothing can really reach Hong Hong levels of hilarity, but he's a really funny guy.
Can you pull this down? This is not the right thing. I
Oh,
just
it's
wanna
not the
make
right
sure.
thing?
No, that was something else.
Okay.
I just want to make sure the bad clip is not in order. Okay, we're good.
Are we good? Okay.
That top 10 thing was part of something really awful that we're going to talk about
Oh,
later.
yeah. Okay. So anyway, guys, the topic of today is Biao Bai.
Trust me, you're going to want to stay on the Biao Bai topic as long as possible and not go to the vote clip.
Oh yeah, we got a vote clip today, which is questionable. Kind of made us both lose our
Mad
appetite.
sick.
Let's put it that way.
I literally almost threw up.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not that bad, but you get to vote on it. We'll tell you about it later.
Yeah.
So Biao Bai is this idea, and we have to set this up. You can talk a bit about the psychology behind it, but you know, it normally happens in college.
Yes.
And what happens is it's when a guy confesses his love for a girl and asks them to be his girlfriend, basically, or go out with him or whatever.
Yeah, I saw some salt in the chat. It's like, not confess, it's profess. No, Biao Bai literally means to confess. That's
Yes.
why we're translating
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So why don't you go through some of the psychology before we hit these clips? Because, look, they're cringe and they make you feel bad, but maybe if we discuss it a little, you won't feel so bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, there will be situations where you're going to feel bad or you're going to root for the person, right?
Yeah,
But the problem
for sure.
is, the concept of Biao Bai implies, and I'm not going to get all, like, feminist or weird or anything like this, right? I'm going to...
Yeah, you already are.
I'm going to look at this straight and narrow, okay?
Sure.
You have to understand the difference between Chinese and Western culture.
Sure.
In Chinese culture, it's very normal and well accepted in society that a man has a certain amount of power over a woman in a relationship. Whereas in the West, it's very much we strive for equality. Right?
Sure.
So you have to understand that fundamental difference.
Mm-hmm.
There's a push in China, obviously, amongst educated for that to not be a thing.
Yes, of course.
But there, by and large, even with the most humble intentions, a man in a situation of Biao Bai oftentimes is trying to get some sort of leverage and say, I'm doing all of this for you, so you need to be mine now, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a trade in a way, right?
Yeah.
So oftentimes you'll see a guy and he'll be waiting his whole time. He's not going to be dating around. He's not on Tinder. He's not like going around like meeting all these different girls and stuff. He's honed in his sights on
Sure.
one girl. and he will all of a sudden start preparing some materials. Maybe he gets massive bouquets of flowers. Maybe he gets a whole setup of candles. Maybe he gets some music playing. Maybe he gets some people to actually sing or perform music for him. It needs to be a grand display because this is not going to be a private event, right? If you were a potential, I'm not going to set a scenario up between us.
Let's not set in. I mean, look, at the end of the day, though, it's kind of like at the same time, it's also trying to make a public display so that you guilt the other person.
That's what I wanted to get into, okay? So in a normal scenario, you might like get to know a girl and then you talk to her and you take her on dates and you do things or whatever, right? And that's normal. But in this situation, it's almost like a fail-safe because like if there's enough public pressure and you put enough public face on the line, you might get the girl who you're maybe a little bit on the fence about whether she's going to say yes or not, to kind of push over the edge, at least publicly, to be like, yeah, okay, I'll give you a chance. Or yeah, we can be together. Right?
Yeah, or be too embarrassing for her to say no.
Yes, because you're going to have crowds of people that are cheering it on. You'll see in some of these clips, it can become a huge thing, a huge event. And there's so much on the line, especially in a face culture where no one wants to lose face because that's their whole reputation, that it's all over afterwards, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, and this is what you'll see, is that these guys they can't take no for an answer because they put it all on the line.
Yeah, because their face is at risk, because it's a face culture.
And the psychology behind this is not only face, it's also little emperor culture.
Yeah.
And that's something you have to understand is the guys that take it with stride and you feel bad and whatever, that's fine. And they walk away and whatever. And maybe they're hurt, but they get over it, over time. The guys that you see throwing tantrums and stuff is because oftentimes these single children grow up in a household where the grandparents raise them and they get everything they want because they're a boy. And in Chinese culture, boys and men are much more valued than females.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation, actually. Yeah.
Women have much lower leg up in life.
Yeah.
Like, and the whole debate in the West is about that because equality was already somewhat achieved, at least legally, like with voting and things like this. In China, equality has not been achieved between men and women.
No, not at all.
It's so far from it. It's not even funny. I think it's even taken a step back since Xi Jinping.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
Yeah. So you're in a situation where women are kind of like, for lack of a better word, shit on in life and society, whereas men are told that they can do anything and have anything they want in certain families and certain familial structures. So you get these guys that end up putting it all on the line, and then, wait a minute, I can't have what I wanted? Yeah. I got that toy. I got that car. I got that, I got this. I got that.
Yeah, my dad got me my grades sorted out when I couldn't pass.
Everything under the sun was provided for me. And now I can't have this. And all hell breaks loose. I mean, some bad shit can go down.
I mean, it's very obvious when you've lived in China for a long time like we did, and when you teach kids and stuff, you always see these little spoilt boys, the fat little boys that keep getting fed by their grandmothers and given everything they want. And you'll see the girls are usually a lot more obedient, and they're getting put through all these extra lessons. They have to do all this stuff. They have to work really hard, to make up for the fact that they're not a boy.
Yeah.
You notice? But the boys get to just be a slob and do whatever they want. Man, I remember this one situation. It was so annoying, and I had to look after. I told you about this. We spoke about in ADV China, but that little shit kid.
Oh, yeah.
And just the one scene. So I had to look after him and his friends. We went to KFC, and his mom came along for this time. And he mixed this disgusting thing where he took like ice cream and a chicken leg and mixed it and put ketchup and all this crap. And he was like, eat it, mama chi. And she was like, oh, yeah, like, I don't want to eat that. She's like, mama chi. And so she's like, oh, okay, fine. And she like ate this took a big bite of this disgusting, he'd put like salt and everything, just mixed this with ice cream together. And it's like, what the hell? And she ate this thing. And that's because he had so much power over her, because in the family structure, he's like the most important thing, this little emperor. And obviously her husband, who's absent, never saw him once, ever, is obviously making all the money, and he's like some government official. And so the boy's happiness is more important than her own, and she just has to do what he says. And that's the kind of person we're talking about here. Anyway, should we get into the clips?
Yeah, I would like to analyze some of them.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
So this is a typical setup you see, and the majority of these are going to be in a university setting. Like I said, the college is where this stuff happens. You don't see a ton. This is changing, but you don't see a ton of dating in Biao Bai lower than college grades.
Yeah.
College is kind of where you're away from home, so all of a sudden you can kind of have this idea to pursue love.
And also less pressure on studying.
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, college is so easy in
Yeah,
China.
college is like you will pass.
You will pass. Like if you're in college, you'll pass.
Yeah, there's no way you can fail in college.
Yeah.
And so it's weird. It's like the opposite in the West where you kind of just cruise through high school, but you have to study in university.
Exactly.
In China, you have to study like hell in high school. In university, you just chill out and do
joke.
nothing. You
It's an
just screw
absolute
around.
joke.
You just screw around, really.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going on?
So you see here, this is a typical scenario. This girl was polite, and I wanted to use this as a polite example of a girl saying no, right?
Yeah.
She's like, no, sorry, like a little bow, right? It's nice. The guy set up the candles and stuff, and he made this a public display, but he didn't make this like insane. Like the people aren't crowding around like crazy about this one. This is a good scenario of he tried to go out there, put himself out, and then he walks away from it because she says no, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. But then you have a situation like this. This is more of a Xiàbān situation.
Sure. So wait, he's just slamming. I guess that's a bouquet of flowers that she
said,
refused.
yeah, she said no.
I'll rewind that a bit so we can see.
Yeah.
So what's going on with this?
This is the opposite. This is like a rich shamatha. This is a rural rich person. You see, these are real bikes. There's Ducati there.
Yeah.
These are Fuar Dai, meaning that they're wicked rich. Go back. These are really rich guys. They get everything that they want.
Yeah.
Right? So the first guy is probably, middle class college kid. He's like, okay, I'll step back. This guy's like, absolutely not. You can't say no to me.
It's flower rage.
He's flower rage. Tell me that's not the image of a man that's always gets what he wants, though.
Oh, of course,
Right.
of course.
Little
Especially
emperor.
when you're dealing with those bike gangs in the more rural towns.
Yep.
Those are the kids with money.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good example of someone that can't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Like, F this, I put myself out there.
Yeah, I bought these flowers, damn it.
This is an interesting one, but this is, I'll explain the scenario in a second, but this is what you'll see in
Those
the
are the
college.
sushi, which
the
is like the
dorms.
dormitory. Yeah.
This is the display you'll see for a public display, a public Biao Bai,
Yeah.
a public convention. Look at how many people are
Yeah,
out.
everyone's on their balconies looking out.
So that, I just wanted to get the picture. See, this is crazy, right? This one is interesting. They're telling, everyone's ganging up and telling the girl to give back the money.
Yeah.
Because, I guess there was some transaction involved, right?
Yeah. Well, he probably I don't know, bought her something or some shit
Yeah,
like
and
that.
she obviously said no. Anyway, you see how many people can be involved, and I wanted to show the pressure on the line for some of these people.
Yeah.
If you have 1,000, 2,000 people screaming, being like, yeah, go, taking videos and stuff, you're going to feel pressure to do something.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's the idea, right? You got a good point.
Yeah.
Is when you have that much on the line,
You
why
want
would
to
you say no, right?
Yeah, exactly. Guilt them into it.
Yeah.
This flashing bouquet of flowers.
I think he was picking up all the candles.
Oh,
so
okay.
Here's a woman.
Yeah.
And she put out a thing, and she's professing her love to her future boyfriend.
Right.
So anyway, she gets out there with a megaphone, and she has all these candles lit. She had a bouquet, and she's out there with a megaphone, getting everyone's attention. This is out in public, not in the university.
Yeah,
This is out in
Jilin,
public.
yeah.
In Jilin, yeah. And okay, so did you hear that in the background? Did you hear the fireworks?
Yeah.
She actually paid for 100,000 fireworks to go off.
100,000.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are obviously small. Like, you
Yeah.
get those box of Roman candles, 1,000.
Sure,
of them.
sure.
She had, fireworks going off her whole time as she
Yeah.
made her speech.
Makes sense.
So she's like, she's calling for him, are you even a man? Come out,
Yeah.
and let's go off together. So,
Yeah.
continue. So what happened was, in the end, he didn't accept, right?
Yeah.
So she was refused in this time.
Yeah.
It's not always men biao buying, but it's the vast majority.
Yeah, and it's expected as well.
Yeah.
It's expected.
You see, you can understand the whole public pressure thing, though, right?
Yeah.
So she was pissed off. She's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, she spent over 100 grand RMB of fireworks.
Yeah, so not
That's a lot-
100,000.
that's a lot of money.
It's 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, RMB on
a lot
fireworks.
of money.
It's a huge amount of money,
Yeah.
dude. Seriously, I don't have that in my bank account. I don't.
No.
Yeah.
So look at this.
Yeah.
If this guy, this is not a university setting. This will be out near a shopping district or something.
Yeah.
He thinks that if he, kind of puts himself out there and gets everyone on board, and he's confessing his love here, that she's going to be more pressured into saying yes.
Right. So what happens?
See? What is he doing here to all the listeners?
Oh, he's got the Chanel bag.
So go back.
Okay.
I think that's an important image. is that like she refuses him, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, well, that didn't work. He tries to drag her off.
Yeah.
That didn't work. So what does he do?
Goes and gets the Chanel bag.
It's a Chanel bag, right? Oh, I bought you this bag, right?
Yeah.
I bought you these things. These
Yes.
things I bought for you.
Yeah.
You have to do it now.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a weird concept? It's like, I did these things. You have to go with me now.
Yeah, I mean, like we've seen ones where they buy like a Lamborghini and stuff, or like 100
Yeah.
iPhones or something, and they expect, hey, look, I spent this money, so you have to accept me. Yeah.
I wanted to show
it's
more.
basically buying them.
Yeah, I wanted to show a more typical scenario.
Yeah,
Because not everyone has a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Yeah, remember that one with the foreigner?
Yeah.
The Russian, like a guy, a Chinese guy tried to, Biao Bai to a Russian girl, and he
had
bought,
Harbin or something.
Yeah, and he bought her a Lamborghini, and she refused, and he couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
No one
he
could
was
believe
like
it. And
shell
the whole
shocked.
Chinese internet couldn't believe it either.
Yeah.
They were like, "How can she not accept? He bought a Lamborghini."
Calling her a slut and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's all this
Remember that?
rubbish, and I mean, at the end of the day, like you don't buy people. That's not how things
That's
work.
not how it
You
works.
can't buy a relationship.
No.
Yeah. Anyway. So what's this one? It looks like a woman this time. Oh no!
No,
it's a man.
It's a guy.
Okay.
So-
and he's giving her this bouquet.
Yeah, and he's like, go ahead.
Wait, why does he have to? He's like yelling at her with a bullhorn in her face.
Yeah. Again, this is a thing that happens because you need
Yeah.
to let everyone.
Yeah, everyone has to be in on the action. I'll just get us out of there so you can see. He's like literally using a bullhorn.
Yes. So I think you're my destiny, right? What does she say? She's trying to be polite. She says next time.
Yeah, next time.
Like she didn't even say no. It's just next time. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
she doesn't want to be in the scenario. It's uncomfortable as hell.
Yeah. Okay, here we got a smaller scale one.
This is a university setting.
不知道为什么最后男主把女主给拒绝了，男孩子也很有素质的去拒了一个。
That's a woman. That was a girl.
Okay.
Biao Baiing to a man.
Really?
They bowed off.
He bowed off. Oh, he bowed off.
This one, little tantrum gets set up because refusal happens. So he's like,
Right. He's like, screw that. Yeah.
you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Situations. I thought this woman sees this dude with some stuff, some Biao Bai stuff, and she says, "Oh, she didn't accept you. Just give it to me."
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, he's in a scenario where he's like, screw
Oh
it.
well, yeah, exactly.
Here's another university setting.
Yeah. He's got like the little boombox there so he can
Yeah.
play the music.
See how this is all set up?
Yeah.
So he's Biao Bai to her. And then look at this dude. He comes in.
Oh, it just comes and like whacks him.
Yeah, obviously there's a bit of rivalry there.
Yeah.
Between him and the other guy.
Absolutely.
Yikes.
Oh, you got clothes lined.
Here's a scenario. This woman's just embarrassed to hell.
Okay, because they're in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Obviously made an announcement
Yeah,
and
he
stuff,
did.
right? Okay.
And
What's he giving her there? Like a...
he's got all kinds of gifts and flowers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
The problem with this is that this woman's had enough. She's like, you already annoyed me.
Yeah.
She says, right? Like this is already like annoying. She's pissed off, right? And so he has a tantrum, and he's like, "What?
Yeah.
What can I do? What can I do to make you love me?" That kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe not behave like that in the first place.
I don't think chicks like that. You know what I mean? I'm totally honest. I don't think chicks.
You're not
like
going to
when
annoy
dudes
them
like,
into a relationship. Yeah, you're gonna,
love me.
I don't think that works very well. Yeah,
I
what's
don't
going
think
on
so.
next?
Oh, just a funny little slip you do.
Okay.
That's in university. See, it's during military drills. I included it for that reason.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, it's a vote clip. Yeah.
That military drill thing is actually in university in China. They bring PLA soldiers into the schools. Every university has to do this.
Every single one.
And they do military drills, and it's this horrible time that everyone hates because you're out in the heat all the time, and especially in Guangdong, it's so hot.
They don't just do it you know, in university, they do it in middle school as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
In primary
Yeah,
school,
yeah.
they do this, you know, it's quite common.
It continues.
Yeah. So, you know, you see they have to all dress up in uniform and do some like marching and stuff. It's not like an intense military stuff. It's just
No.
like learn how to march. And
It's also
things.
nationalism.
Yeah.
It's just
It's all
straight up
about like
nationalism.
raising the flag and,
Yeah.
you know, praising the Mao Zedong or whatever.
Yeah. It's like we will defeat the enemy type of thing.
So we're going to talk about our vote clip here.
Son of a gun. This is. Can you set it up? Because it's been
Sure.
going around.
Okay, there's some. Yeah, just.
I think they had to peace out.
Yeah. So
Like that he ran away.
I know. I mean, you kind of have to
I might.
recover. You might, yeah. So anyway, guys, the vote clip today is kind of gross. Okay, but don't worry, it's not about like anyone dying. We'll never show that. By the way. We'll never show. We'll never show anything that crosses the line. But this
is the worst
It's
yet.
about eating gross food, and if you're kind of put off by like gross food, I suppose. What else?
I
else
don't
could
know.
you
It's
put it?
hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
mean, if
so bad.
If you've been to the butcher section of your supermarket, this won't offend you.
That's not the same, though, is it?
Yeah,
That's-
but
I don't care about that. But this makes me almost throw up.
Okay, but let's just say you'll lose your appetite. So let's put a vote.
Yeah.
Let's put a vote. Do you want to see the clip? You may. No, I think you will lose your appetite.
I will say this is the worst one yet.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't say the
I'll
worst,
call
but
it-
it's not great. Lose your appetite?
I'll
Yes
call
or
it
no?
very raw.
Very raw. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
You guys vote. I'm telling
Okay.
you, it's mad gross. We were talking a little bit about in depth of what can
Yeah.
happen.
Well, we'll talk about it more in depth if they say yes to it. That's all.
Yeah, just prepare yourself. And like if you don't want to see this, step away or like mute it
Yeah.
for the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I'll let it get up to 50 votes as
Okay.
usual.
So what are we at?
It's rough, guys.
It's not that bad, but it is bad.
I don't know why you're downplaying. We almost threw up.
I mean,
and that's not exaggerating. We
Yeah,
almost threw
it
up
did kind of-
watching a video. I don't throw up watching videos.
Yeah, I mean, it did make me feel queasy. I'll be honest. Yeah.
It's one of those things that on paper it doesn't even sound that
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, it's possibly because I'd been seeing a lot of those as well at the
Yeah.
same time. This is just
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we
Yeah.
at? Yeah, we're at a yes. So I guess it's a yes. So let's.
That was the worst the best turnout we've ever had for no.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's take a look and maybe we can
15%.
explain what's going on here. That's a really bad one. I like that. Okay, so I'll just get us out of there so you can see what's happening here. So what is exactly happening here?
Now I don't care about raw animals. Like don't get me raw.
I'm gonna
I don't
let me
give a
turn
shit
the
about
volume down.
butchers and stuff.
Yeah, that's raw pork.
Raw pork organs.
Yeah. So what's going on here is in the village they've slaughtered this raw pig, and they're eating all the raw pork and the raw organs out of it.
They're eating some liver and kidney raw.
Yeah.
Intestines raw. Mm-hmm. They're eating all this stuff raw out of the pig.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a raw pig. It's not cooked. Yummy.
I'll explain to you why this is so disgusting in a second. Maybe pause it on there.
Okay, I'll
Like
pause
on a
it.
rip. Like
Yeah, okay,
so we can have an idea.
Sure.
I'll tell you
By the
why.
way, there's been a lot of raw pork stuff going on lately that has
I
been
regret voting yes.
yeah. So there's been a lot of raw
Yeah,
pork.
explain that.
There was a clip of and I believe like a mentally disturbed woman in a
Yeah.
wet market. You know wet markets, right?
Yes.
It's where they put all those like the raw meat lying around.
Right.
And a woman was going up and just literally munching. She grabbed raw pork meat and was just
Yeah.
munching up.
Yeah.
And pork fat and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so gross. So somebody started posting about this festival that they have in this village in in rural China. I don't know if this is widespread. I can't say
Did they
that.
even say where?
No,
I can't
but
pick up on the dialect.
no, but I've got several clips of the same event.
Okay, it's definitely Southwest Mandarin.
Yeah, and it's obviously a thing that they do. So what they do is they just start killing this. They kill the pig, right? And they just start eating the skin, and then they eat the bits, the organs and stuff. It's really
Everyone
gross.
gets in there and uses their hands. To
Yeah,
eat
but
them.
it's just gross because it's raw.
It's raw.
And so I got sent a lot of clips of this one event
Yeah.
So that's why I can't say that it's widespread. It could just be one village. It could have just happened once.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not like a thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen in China.
Yeah.
It's not ubiquitous.
No. So, I mean, it's hard to tell, but it definitely is happening in China. It did happen in China.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's some sort of festival.
It's some kind of festival.
And I'm unaware of it.
So maybe it happens once a year or something in this area.
No, I want to explain something. You leave it up there for a second.
Okay, yeah.
The reason this is so bad, again, like the clip itself, if you look at it without any preconceived notions, it's whatever. It's weird that people are eating a raw pig, right? That's gross, right?
Really? I mean, is this gross? Is this really? Like, yummy.
And they're eating the guts raw, right? The reason this is so bad, I'm just telling you right
just
now.
like, give me a bit of that, whatever that dangly
Give
thing
me the
is over
connective
there.
tissue between the stomach and the intestine, please. I mean, there's still shit in the intestines there.
Oh, dude, it's
People are-
rough. It's rough.
You know, they're ripping bits of it.
This dude loves it, though. Oh. It's so rough. It's so... Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
I
You
want
want
to
it?
explain something.
Okay. Oh.
The reason, without preconceived
Yeah.
notions, you'd be like, okay, that's weird. I would never do that, but whatever. But
Sure.
you have to understand what trichinosis is.
Sure.
Trichinosis is a type of roundworm that lives in pork and dog meat, okay?
Yeah.
And also bear, apparently. Now, I'm getting that salivation.
Yeah, I feel like I want to puke.
The problem is that if you were in a country where trichinosis is not a big issue, then you could look past this and be like, that is a bizarre tradition.
Sure.
It is absolutely, positively rampant in China.
Yeah.
The pork quality in China is so shocking because they're feeding them pork. They're feeding pigs pork,
Yeah.
raw pork.
Yeah.
They're feeding them garbage, which is how trichinosis happened, by the way.
Right.
And that when American farms stopped using pig feed as like garbage, then trichinosis kind of died down to only 20 cases a year now.
Wow.
In China, it's huge. It's a massive issue.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you why. It's a massive issue in places in China where they're eating cooked pork.
Yeah.
It's happening in places where they're eating clean pork. These guys are eating raw pork organs where this shit lives.
Yeah.
In the muscle
Maybe you can
tissue.
explain what trichinosis is.
So this worm, what happens is for a normal healthy person where they don't have a huge bio load of worms in each bite,
Sure.
your digestive system should be able to kill it off.
Yeah.
But the problem is if you're eating something with a bunch of bio load, for example, this pig, right? This
Sure.
raw ass
This
pig.
This is just a worm vessel.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're getting this from kind of semi-cooked pork,
Yeah.
you can imagine what's happening here, right? So
Yeah.
what happens is it'll go into your stomach, and then if it hasn't killed it, it'll go into your intestines, and then will leave your intestines, and the worms will go into your muscle tissue.
Yeah.
After the muscle tissue, so they'll pulsate inside of your muscles, right? Let's look at an X-ray here.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a brain with trichinosis worms in it.
In the brain. Yeah. It goes
you
into
see-
your brain.
Do you see those light patches on the muscles around the lungs?
Yeah. I'll get us out of there. Yeah.
Those are worms.
Yeah.
Those are worms living in the muscle tissue.
Yeah. It's not good.
Go to the next next picture.
Okay. You didn't put like medical graphic crap in here, did you?
I mean, this is that. See all this muscle tissue?
Yeah.
Those are worms.
The white parts?
Those are trichinosis worms in the muscle tissue. All across the entire body. And then when it's satiated, that it'll go into your lungs too.
Yeah.
But when it's finished with that, it'll actually start coming out through eyes and stuff.
That's disgusting.
So that's like a cross-section of muscle tissue.
Okay.
The worms in there.
Ah, that's terrible.
For example, this. They'll come through. Okay, get it off.
Yeah.
there. Get off of
that's
there. Get it off
just
of there.
that's just horrendous.
Go back to the pig. I just want people to remember why we don't do this.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, there's almost a guarantee that this is happening. What
Yeah.
you just saw is happening right here because it's huge outbreaks in China, and then
Yeah.
people are not even cooking it in this scenario.
No,
That's what made me sick.
That's horrendous.
That's what made me want to die.
Yeah. I know that that's a big issue in China, that the trichinosis. You hear
Yeah.
about it all the time.
All the time.
Woo.
So the
Wow.
problem with that is that once that has spread throughout your body, it's very difficult to get rid of at that point.
Yeah.
And then you
I'm
die.
just taking that off the screen there for a moment. Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
felt so sick, because I know what a big issue that medical problem is in China, and to watch people willingly eat the pig raw, like the guts.
Yeah, let's just stay away from pork sashimi.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's do a poll. Regret
Yeah.
poll.
Do you regret the clip? Yes or no?
Do you regret the clip? Yes or no? I want you to vote because a lot of people changed their tune.
Yeah,
In the beginning, like, that's not that bad.
Oh well, we'll see.
Yes. Yes is winning.
Yeah, I mean, dude, seriously, like,
Oh, no, it's no.
that's the thing. Like, when we give you a vote clip, it's for a reason. You get to vote. So it's on you, you know. If you say yes, but we'll always stay away from anything horrendous. Don't worry. We'll never show, like, I don't know, abuse against, you know, people or, you know, anything
For
like
sure. No,
terrible, like death or anything. But we'll show you gross stuff.
Verbis Unitas had a perfect thing to say. With context, this clip is so much worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When you know what's happening.
Yeah, because trichinosis is trichinosis, however the hell you say
trichinosis,
it. It is a massive issue in China, and you get warned about it all the time.
Yeah.
And just eating pork that's not cooked is not a good idea anyway, anywhere in the world.
Except Japan, apparently. They've eradicated it.
I don't
You still
care.
get salmonella and stuff.
I'm not going to eat pork. I mean, you can eat beef
Yeah.
raw.
Yeah. Usually you want to cook the outside. The inside can be raw.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't like to eat it raw,
No.
but I'm saying you can, and it's a much smaller risk than
for
eating
sure.
pork.
Absolutely.
You know, don't forget, pork's like 90% something human DNA.
It's close, right?
So, like, whatever parasites they have, you get.
Oh.
Yeah.
The worms are just doing Biao Bai.
What the hell?
In your muscle.
Yeah,
tissue.
Biao Bai in your muscles.
Imagine laying there at night, like you said.
Yeah, it's going to be wriggling behind your eye. You have an itch or something.
Right, but it's not just that. Imagine your whole muscle tissue, you just feel it throbbing.
Yeah, it's not good, dude.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, I don't want to know about that. You know, let's
And of
just
course they're going to
eradicate
try to
it.
come out.
Yeah.
And they do.
Let's just eradicate that from the world. Yeah. Okay, so it's questions time.
So we had a 41% regret.
Okay, all right. It's a
Yeah.
pretty high regret.
Yeah, it was the worst one yet.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys. So now it's time for
Are we going to make a
questions.
teaser clip out of that?
What do you mean?
You know, a teaser clip for the,
Oh, yeah?
the ad for the show. What are we going to do?
I have no idea. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But yeah, question time. So please put a Q in front of your question and hit it in the comments, and in the live chat, and we'll answer. Yeah, let's do it. What do we got?
You guys are so gross with your analogies. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you've started to go questions. Pop in some questions maybe not related to this. I'm feeling real gross.
Yep.
Isn't this technically death? Because you said we'll never show you death. We didn't show you we won't show you people eating humans.
No.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, it
many
does happen,
times.
but yeah.
Okay. Buchang 1 million says, "Will I get trichinosis from Xi Jinping's steak? I would not eat that."
I wouldn't.
And yeah, you would.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. He's just pork.
The average Joe says, "Don't you think they would only export the high quality EV cars? Countries keep statistics about vehicle fire."
Oh, yeah. If you want to talk about that, absolutely. Export quality is far greater when it comes to China. Think about it. They have real quality control. Apple, for instance, all your phones are made in China, but it's a foreign company that runs it, and the foreign company has a very strict quality controls. They won't allow any shortcuts to be made. Chinese companies, on the other hand, have a big issue with that. And that's why you get things like Chinese companies buying up European car makers. They bought Volvo and these other things like that. And that is so that they can get these inroads into the other countries.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Now you've got a Chinese EV. You want to sell it in Europe. What do? You buy Volvo. Volvo already has all the inroads. And they already have quality control and assurances and stuff. So they'll check. And the EVs that go to Europe, for instance, are definitely going to be better quality than the ones that are sold domestically in China. But they still have a risk. They're still worse. They're still bad. You know, I've just put another clip on Twitter today of one of those BYD Han, you know, those top-of-the-line luxury sedan things. This is a BYD Han. It was in a massive accident, front and rear, really badly damaged, and the airbags didn't go off. And that's not what you want, you see, because how often are you going to see an accident, you know, in a new EV, and they've already penetrated into the market? How often? Like, and when the accidents do happen, say one does have an accident and the airbags don't go off, they'll probably, it's a fluke. You know what I mean? And it's only going to be after a whole slew of these things not deploying airbags or maybe catching on fire before people change their minds.
Don't say fluke.
Yeah.
All I can think of is
fluke runs.
parasites.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. What do we got next?
Yeah, parasites on the mind.
Gross.
If said, why?
You know,
I'm sorry.
there's an annoying thing in China, and I guess you could have it all over the world, but there are certain traditions and certain festivals that are held, and there's no reason for it. It's just because it was done in the past.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't make scientific, or environmental sense or whatever, people do a certain thing. You're like, why the hell would you do that? It's like, oh, that's our tradition. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
but why? You've got fire, you can cook it.
Right.
Why not eat a cooked pig?
Right.
Why is it got to be raw? So, and they'll be like, oh,
Because people die. I mean,
that's
they're
what we
dying.
do. That's our
That's what we do. We die.
Yeah, well.
Oh, Mr. Key says, how to say I don't understand you speak human. 我不懂说人话.
Yeah, 说人话.
Also, what should I eat today? You should have a Philly cheesesteak.
Pork knuckle.
Don't eat pork today. Everyone, let's swear off pork today.
Yeah, maybe not today.
I'm not eating pork today.
Hong hong, yeah.
Yeah. You're legitimizing that. Some people were saying that hong hong was a pig noise and that the woman he was criticizing was Muslim, so it was very offensive. That was her argument.
Yeah, that was
I
her
don't think
argument.
pigs
It's not.
say hong.
No, they don't. Not even in South Africa.
No.
Where that clip is from.
I think he was just making a dumb sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rebecca Meyer says, how is the food security situation in China right
terrible.
now? It's always been bad. I mean, they import so much food.
Yeah, it is bad. You have to understand as well that China on paper has laws against like food quality problems and stuff too. But again, it's a very corrupt industry. So, you'll see a A, or they have those happy faces, like a green happy face, or those things on the wall. But they've just bribed to get those.
Sure. But food security means like how much food you have.
Yeah. Of course, as far as that's concerned, it's bad as well because of all the contamination. They import 70% of their food.
Yep. They're trying to diversify outside of countries that might cut them off, like Brazil and things.
Yeah, Brazil's got a huge trade partner
Soybeans,
now, and Africa, of course, they've colonized a lot of Africa, so they have access to that. So,
yeah. Buchang 1 million says, what's the reaction of the Chinese on the internet seeing Chinese migrants crossing the U.S. border to seek asylum? There's a lot of people on the internet that are very sarcastic, saying like, oh, our China's so great.
Yeah.
A lot of people know. It's not some hidden secret.
You know what the weird thing is that they actually are spreading even more information on how to cross. People are putting out detailed plans on how to get across the American border, how to do it by yourself. Where to go, how to travel, how to do it, which areas to go in, and go through California rather than through Texas because they're more lenient and stuff like that when they catch you. There are basically instruction manuals now being freely passed around on how to get over the border, which I find kind of strange. Why isn't the Chinese government stamping that out? Because usually they would.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Anyway.
Mark says, have you visited the poles of Dandong?
The poles of Dandong? You mean the port of Dandong?
Port of Dandong.
No. Chippy Weesk says, could you please remove the whole pig video segment from your library and then shoot it into space?
I'd like to do that. I told you, that's one clip.
Yeah.
I get sent multiple of that entire festival.
Yeah, Chinese people are talking about that festival all over the internet right now. Mm-hmm. Something's blowing up about that festival. Trying to figure out why it's so popular to talk about. Probably because it's so gross.
It's gross, yeah.
Have either of you been Biao Bai'd, Mork? Yes, many times.
Me? No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? No. Oh, you didn't teach in university. It was pretty common.
Yeah.
It was pretty common. It was mad awkward because they do it in public. In front of everyone, you have to be polite. Be like, no, sorry.
Yeah, no.
I'm not single and, professional relationship type of thing.
Yeah.
But it is people put it on the line. People put it on the line for sure. Al Hollywood says, what interaction do those guys have with those girls before they do this? It depends. I mean, sometimes they know them. Sometimes they don't even know them very well, but they think they're attractive,
Yeah.
Do the girls have any
Classmates,
idea? Yeah. Do girls have any idea that this is going to happen, or is it more like a goofy public proposal at sporting matches? Yeah, it's more like that. It's more akin to that.
Yeah.
They might not know it's coming.
Yeah, they might not. Maybe they get tipped off. It's hard to say.
Acronis, are Chinese Teslas built to a lower standard? No idea.
Again, it's hard to tell, but there have been Teslas that blow up in China. I've seen them. I've seen the footage. But the difference is, and I think this is the biggest takeaway from my video that most people don't seem to understand, is that the statistics for Teslas burning down, which they do, is public knowledge. The statistics are available. The statistics on how many Chinese EVs blow up is not. You can't just search it and find it. You can for Teslas. It's everywhere. It's reported every time a Tesla burns down. There's a big news thing about it. It's not hidden. But the fact that the flagship EVs in China are burning all the time and you don't hear about it, it's kind of an interesting indicator as to what's going on, because China always hides statistics that they don't like. Bad GDP numbers, you never hear about it. COVID deaths, I mean, come on. And when they're trying to push products to the outside world, they know, and the Chinese government has massive stakes in all these companies like BYD, etc. They know that it would hurt sales and potential inroads into other markets if the statistics of these things burning down were public knowledge to everyone. So they bring the numbers down if they release them at all. They dumb them down a lot, or they just don't release them. Yeah. So that's the big difference.
Sure. Dan W., how do you get so many really rude people in a culture when face is so important? Does no one call anyone out because of rank?
What's that?
Does no one call each other out because of rank?
I mean, you can't call out a superior in China because of face culture. You just can't. No. You will be fired or whatever.
Yeah, it's like suicide. Career suicide.
I remember like there was this factory boss who wanted to hire this when we had our training center. When I worked for the rapist school, we used to do outsourcing of training to like companies as well. And so we got this new guy, and he was a very qualified teacher, and he got sent on site, and the factory boss wanted some, like, I don't know, some advice on something, and he like very publicly said, "You're doing this wrong, and that's why it's not working." And because of that, we lost the contract. Yeah. You know, you can't question authority in China, not publicly.
No.
You know?
Shauna says, how about a yummy clip as a perfect dessert?
Oh, what? Like Yes. Yes, that should be like a conglomeration.
I feel it's so gross, right? I feel like I have worms in my lungs.
I think it's got to go something like this. See what's going on in the background? That's the way to do it. Anyway, we're done.
Oh, stop. Why do you have to bring this back? I feel so gross.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes. And Clamman loves it, though.
Dalmatian Daisy says, are you watching the NCAA Finals, UConn versus San Diego State tonight? If so, what team are you rooting for? I don't watch basketball. I'd go for UConn because my buddy went
What does
there.
NCAA mean?
College basketball.
What's NC?
National.
Oh, National College?
College Athletic Association.
Oh, so there's no B for basketball in there.
Guess not. Let's make sure that's what it means. National Collegiate Athletic Association. Yeah, same thing. Collegiate college, same thing.
Okay.
Nka. What?
Nka. That's how you'd say it, right?
Nka. NCAA.
Nka, yeah.
Zilong says, so the comment about the other South African PM making fun of the other person was not being able to speak English. I was a bit confused on that. We are all confused on that because her English is much better than his.
Yeah, yes, that's very true. Like, her English is better.
I didn't get that.
I mean, he just wants to say, like, everything she's saying is nonsense, basically.
That's what he's getting at.
That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah. UD888 says, is there no health education to warn everyone about eating pork? Seems crazy. No, most Chinese people would never do this. It's like a huge no-no to eat raw meat in China. Yeah. Everyone knows that.
Yep.
Especially this weird village.
You know, it's kind of interesting. If you go back in history, the whole thing about drinking tea or whatever, it's got something to do with the emperor then figured out that, like, well, basically, let me get this right. Let me get this straight. I don't want to, like, say the wrong thing. So, for some reason, the emperor figured out, not the emperor, obviously, it's just a dumbass, but, you know, the people that worked for him, they figured out that boiling water, if you drank hot water, you wouldn't get sick as often. Because, you know, people back in the day, you know, were just like animals rolling around, drinking the river, and we're getting, like, dysentery or whatever and just dying. But, like, when you drink hot water, then you're not going to die as easily. So he started to make it a decree that everyone in the country has to drink boiling water or hot water.
Probably raised life expectancy.
Yeah, he did. And then they used to boil the water in these like pots, and apparently like some pots busy boiling and some leaves fell in it, you know, from a freaking tree. And then they drank it and they're like, this tastes good. And that's how tea was discovered.
Gotcha.
It's just a happy accident. Imagine if like a bird shat in it or something and they were like, we'd be like having bird shit drink. You know what I mean?
We'd all get sick.
I know, but I'm just saying,
for sure.
you know, but like some tea leaves fell in it.
For sure.
There's all these things. And like whether they're true or not is hard to say, but it is
sure.
like written down.
Sure.
And like how they discovered silk is apparently some princess is like chilling in the garden drinking tea. They love drinking tea.
After that was discovered.
Yeah. So first tea had to be discovered
Yeah.
for this to happen.
Yeah.
So she's drinking tea. There's a teacup down there, and like a cocoon, silk cocoon, like worm thing fell into her tea. And then as she pulled it out, like it kind of unraveled in
Yeah,
this
'cause you
like
boil
string.
silk cocoons.
Yeah, and she liked this silk string, and that's how that was discovered. I wonder if she tried to drink it too. I don't know. But yeah, that's how silk was discovered,
Interesting.
apparently. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's got a lot to do with tea.
You never really think about it, but if you wear silk, which I don't, but if you were to wear silk, you're wearing bugs. You're wearing bug beds.
You know, I mean, you just, yeah, I guess.
It's bugs. Cotton's not bugs.
Yeah, but you're wearing like a gross ass wool ass sheep
yeah.
mud fur.
Why is that mud anymore?
Yeah, but you know, you've seen what sheep look like normally. They're like rolling around. It's like there's like dingleberries hanging off. You know what I'm saying? Like they're kind of gross. You wear that.
I'm just saying it's a bug though. Bugs are kind of icky, you know. I don't know,
Yeah,
I'm just
sure,
thinking.
sure.
Doc Southington, are these Biao Bai? Are these big Biao Bai an exception of people being cringe, or do a lot of people expect it? Oh no, this happens often.
It's
I
common.
saw it all the
It's very
time. I've probably seen it 20 times, like big ones.
Yeah.
In universities.
It depends. It can be huge. It can be smaller, but you see them all the time, and it's very common.
Very common. That's why we picked up on it. It's not like the pork village thing. We're hand on heart. We're telling you right now, this is not normal to eat raw pork in China.
Yeah.
They do not do this in China.
No.
It's in this village.
Yeah.
The Biao Bai thing is ubiquitous across
Sure.
the country. I saw it north, south, east, west.
Yep.
Don't think I can eat pork for a while. I don't.
Yeah,
like
dude,
any of
like-
this shit. Let's take a pork break.
I'll take a pork break.
Yeah.
You know, like bacon is awesome,
Yeah, but after that,
but like just like pork, like a thing of pork. I guess I'm not a big
I don't
fan.
like pork chops.
No, I'm not a big fan of just like let's eat pork.
No,
Bacon's great though.
it has to be processed, like salami or bacon, or you know.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, pork break for me.
Yeah, me too. Possible person says, aside from parasites, what kind of illnesses are common in China? Massive food poisoning all the time. In fact, it's so ubiquitous in China. That's my word of the day, apparently. So ubiquitous in China that it's just normal to talk about diarrhea. Like you'll have people come into your office, right? Let's say you're a dude, a client, comes in your office like, sorry, I had diarrhea. It's normal to talk about diarrhea. It's not gross because people have diarrhea so often from the food quality.
You know what I found very interesting, which you probably wouldn't know, and I only knew because I used to train doctors and they told me about this a lot, is that a huge amount of people die from tick bites.
Yeah.
You know, like ticks.
Yeah.
They call it a piqiong in China, but in the rural areas, tons of people die from tick bites.
It's not limes either. It's that.
It's whatever it is. Like,
that terrible thing.
Yeah. Piqiong bing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, are there any tropical diseases like malaria and dengue? Of course. There's lots of
dengue
stuff.
fever is a huge thing down south.
Massive.
That's why you always see those stupid ads about like, oh, don't leave water outside.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
they'll show the
plum
mosquito
park.
biting you and then you die. Or whatever.
Yeah, dengue fever is huge.
Huge.
Yeah. Lots of things can kill you.
Yeah. Does Biao Bai ever happen in the office workplace? Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, that's one of the more common
Hey, we
places.
showed you one like a while back with that guy in, like with the factory worker type situation. Remember?
Yeah,
That was in an office.
It does happen. It does happen. That was in a factory, but yeah, same thing.
Factory
though.
office.
It really does happen. You'll get big bouquets of flowers delivered, and it's a thing.
Yeah.
Definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Dragon's fourth child says, so next time in Germany, you won't try Hackepeter, traditional raw minced pork? Absolutely not. No. Of course I won't. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
No.
Not into raw meat anyway.
No. I don't like raw meat, and I especially don't like raw pork, and I'll never eat it.
Yeah, exactly. You did eat pork brain though. Remember?
It wasn't raw, was it?
No, but it's still gross.
And I wouldn't
you
eat
could
it
still get a
now.
disease from that.
For sure. But again, it was very well cooked, like boiled a lot.
Yeah, it's still
It's
gross.
gross. But it's not raw.
Yeah, true.
Gary McBrien read some time ago about China's quantum satellite, Metis. That was supposed to be, you remember Metis? Metis is the quantum satellite.
Oh, that one, yes. Yeah,
we know it from the rap.
Yeah,
2
that's
sessions.
right. Yeah.
That was supposed to be used quantum entanglement for communications. Have read differing opinions on whether this is even possible. Any insight? I'm going to say my gut instinct tells me no.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where they say they've done it because they can. Oh,
Yes.
we've nailed quantum computing. Okay, show us. Here we have an Intel processor from like 1993. You know, it's one of those things that China loves to say they've done something.
Somebody sent me an email today, again, saying, like, you guys are poo-pooing all this AI development stuff, but did you know, and they sent me a statistic from China, it said, did you know China is like 34% ahead of AI, quantum, this and that? again, just sending me a state data stat from China.
Yeah.
So criticizing us for saying it's bullshit what they're talking about, and then sending me a China state.
It doesn't help.
Show me.
It's
Show
like
me the thing.
It's literally like a bully, and he walks
Yeah.
around saying like, "Oh yeah, well I've climbed to the top of Mount Everest and back," and you're like, "Oh really?"
Okay,
They're
show
like,
me.
"Yeah, I'm the first person to ever climb Mount Everest." You're like,
Right.
"Really? That's great. Where's the proof?" "Oh, you don't take my word for it? Well, how about like
Yeah.
this guy that I just beat up over here? Tell him.
Yeah,
Tell him.
yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what-
It's
yeah.
like, come on, be
For
real.
sure.
Proof is in the pudding always, and every single time that China comes out with some actual proof, when they put into a corner, it's substandard shit, or it's like trickery of some kind. You know?
Silverio Goodwin says, feeling a little bit under the weather lately with my voice, but I always think, why does every Chinese song sound the same when they compare, and how does it compare to Western music? I don't think that's true at all.
It don't sound the same, but you also have to understand that China's a very conformist society.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have less, like, the stuff that makes it into the mainstream is not going to be as varied.
And also creativity is not nurtured in China.
Yeah.
So, you get a lot of stuff that's just a copy of something else.
For sure.
And when you get a successful song in China, you'll see everybody just follows that. It's the same with like the hot pot restaurant street.
I think that's why it's so important to focus on like underground artists and stuff in China, because they get so pushed down. Like there is a ton of huge creative talent in China, but it just gets pushed down.
Yeah.
So don't seek out the pop stuff, because there's great stuff out there.
Oh yeah, there's good Chinese music for sure, especially in Taiwan.
Yeah, that's.
I know.
You know what I'm trying to say though.
No, I know what you're
actual
trying to say.
underground stuff.
Yep.
Dustin Pearson, we all know about Winston's clingy Chinese girlfriend spying on through school windows, but Matt, did you have a clingy girlfriend spy follow you around to prove your promiscuousness? Not really. I definitely had I dated clingy girls for sure. They didn't go that far.
No.
I think I probably would have broken up before it escalated to that point.
Yeah, no, I've had bad luck when it comes to that kind of thing, and I also have I got a bad habit when it comes to women. My taste in women's actually very bad. I've got that whole like broken, what do you call it, broken wing syndrome or whatever, where you try to nurture a broken thing. Does it make sense?
Absolutely. I've witnessed. I can attest to this.
Yeah, I'm very much stuck where it's like I can fix this.
It's it's very big of you to admit that though.
Yeah,
You know what
I mean it's true though, and luckily I've managed to move on from that.
Oh, okay,
my
good.
my
That's good.
current
Yeah,
wife is
sure.
not like that, which is fantastic.
Or
And I say
Wayne's
my current wife as if I'm going to change her, but no, like my
your
wife.
current wife, as in because you were married prior to that. I think that's
yeah.
what you meant.
It's just a train wreck. My life when it comes to relationships has been a train wreck pretty much the whole way, with one or two like nice ones in between. Finally found the right person.
That's
just
good.
luck. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot less drama in mine because I've never had the broken wing thing. In fact, I'm the opposite. I'm very averse to broken wings.
Sure.
I want the wings to be good.
Yeah,
and to work.
gotcha. Yeah, exactly.
I want them to soar.
Yeah. You find
independent. I like independent women.
Yeah, and you find out that it's kind of like when a horse breaks its leg.
Yeah.
You may as well just shoot it. It's like it can never heal.
Right.
Because they don't. Like if a racehorse breaks its leg, it's never going to run again.
You heard it here first, guys. Winston advocates the shooting of broken women.
No,
That's what
metaphorically,
you mean.
just like
I know what you mean.
You got to just let
I know
go.
what you mean. Like you're
you
saying,
got to let go.
when you're looking to get into a relationship, probably avoid people that have huge baggage, right? That's what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
You're probably not trying to say shoot women.
Of course not.
Like a racehorse and turn them into glue. Winston just said turn women into glue.
No,
Put that
I
on a
didn't say
t-shirt.
that. Yeah. Don't repeat that. Don't clip that out and send it to the tankies.
You're so canceled, bro. Oh, you're never.
It's okay if I can be canceled for a good cause like that.
See? Yeah, he endorses glue women.
Stop.
Glue factory made of women.
I'm just saying, like,
wow, dump them all in a vat is what he said.
It can go both ways. Like, if you're getting into a relationship and the first thing you hear from them is like all these sob stories and issues about all the terrible ways they've been treated, etc. in the past, get ready because you're going to be the next person on their list of complaints.
I didn't mention, like, I've been on dates where the only thing they're talking about is all this and that, how they're mistreated and their last boyfriend. I will never call them back. There's never a date 2 there.
Right.
From me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was always into like really. We can do relationship stuff sometime. I was always into really like strong, independent women. That was always my thing. Can you post a link to your intro song from Darren James? Guess what? It doesn't exist. Everyone keeps saying like, I love your Xiàbān Hòu intro. Like, where can I find it on YouTube and stuff? It's our song. We own it.
Yeah.
It was made specifically for us.
It was made
by a
for
friend.
us. Yeah.
It doesn't exist. There's no link. It was never released anywhere on the internet.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yep. So it's all part of this all-inclusive VIP package.
You know what we could do at some point is maybe play the whole thing during the show and people can clip it out and listen to themselves.
Yeah, I mean, we could release it to Patreon or something.
I actually don't even know where it is.
We'll find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just have the intro now.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
We'll figure out where it came from.
Sonic says, why do many people think that the BRICS currency would destroy the US dollar supremacy? Actually had a wonderful patron, because I was very insecure about this topic. Everyone wants me to talk about people trading in yuan versus the dollar. Mm-hmm. And it was making me nervous that, that could potentially be a future, but also to talk about it because I'm not very good at economics.
Right.
But he wrote a fantastic thing I'd like to show you later about why that actually doesn't mean shit. And, he explained it very, like explain like I'm 5 years old type thing. And now I get it. And I actually feel comfortable to talk about it. So we'll bring it up in the show.
Okay, I'm glad. I mean, at the end of the day, just look at the BRICS countries and tell me how successful they are.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Seriously, though. Yeah. Like, even if they get together, what are they going to do? Corrupt each other to death? Out-corrupt each other?
I think BRICS, people think of BRICS like it's, I shouldn't say think. People think. No one thinks this. Tankies think this, and the Chinese government is trying to push this narrative that BRICS is a counter to NATO. NATO's a military alliance.
Yes.
BRICS has no military alliance. In fact, two of the BRICS members, China and India, have military conflicts right now. It's a currency alliance. It's not a military alliance. So it's not a competitor to anything.
And it's just honestly, it's a bunch of corrupt countries.
Yeah.
And I know firsthand because I've been to all of them except for, well, I shouldn't say all of them, that's a lie. I've been to South Africa, I've been to India, I've been to China.
Yeah.
So you got Russia, I haven't been to, and Brazil.
And Russia, yeah.
Those two that I haven't been to. And I can tell you firsthand that all those other countries are very corrupt and they very much have a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
So them dealing with each other is fine, but it's literally like the blind leading the blind. You know what I mean?
Banning TikTok is one of the most important issues facing politicians today, but how can it be enforced without encroaching on VPNs and people's right to use them from beta machines? Somebody needs to go watch our last episode.
Yeah, just go watch the last episode.
Yeah, our last episode, episode 139?
Maybe 100 and something, 50 something. It's 54.
Is it?
I think so.
154? I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. Just so you know.
Someone's not keeping up.
It's okay. The China Sao. It's called 154, yeah. It's called Guess We're Going to Jail. It's called Guess We're Going to Jail because guess what? It's about VPNs. It's about the bill. It's about the Restrict Act.
Yes.
It's about misinformation. It's about looking into the bill. It's about actually read the bill.
Yeah, you can read the bill for yourself. And as we said in that video, everything has to be up for amendments, and if there's parts of the bill that people don't agree with, it needs to be written out or changed.
Yeah, and Freedom of Information Act should apply.
Yes, 100%.
Timo Shizaki says, because it blew up on the internet, eating raw pig, do you think others will try it as well? I mean, you're always going to get people. I mean, Americans do this too. Those dumbasses eat Tide Pods
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Or NyQuil chicken.
NyQuil chicken.
Anything that blows up on the internet, you're going to have people that are going to try it for sure.
Sure. I don't think so. I think Chinese people know they're very concerned about food safety.
I'm talking about outliers here.
Yeah. Most Chinese people that I know would not do it.
Yeah. To my last question, the polls of Dandong are in your Discord. Yes, Mark. The polls of Dandong is now a section on our Discord.
Oh,
which is fantastic. Yeah, we got some new sections rolled out because we have added a awesome new mod to the team. Want to welcome him?
Yeah.
Naki Supra. And we want to say that we really appreciate what he did with outlining the new changes to the Discord. It's been awesome, and it's going to add a whole level of interactivity there. We had fun there the other day. We were hanging out.
Yeah, excellent.
It's good times.
Looking forward to it.
Great memes, by the way, on the Discord
these
days.
No, it's great.
Stuff that definitely can't make it to the show.
Unfortunately.
No. Maybe this show. Well, yeah, if you guys are chill with us, we can definitely share some of the Discord memes here. It's fun.
Why not?
William Hayda says, I'm pretty sure that when the honorable magician is mocking the women of Hong Kong, he's imitating the braying of a donkey, which makes the insult even worse, lol.
Yeah, that's maybe what it could be.
I wouldn't say a pig.
It's definitely not a pig. No pig goes Hong.
I mean, donkeys don't say Hong either.
They kind of go,
say,
Hong. They go,
yeah.
You know, they do go like, whatever, that could be it.
Maybe. I would prefer it not to be an animal noise, and it's just his ridiculous noise.
Yeah, well, he made it like, yeah, he's got the best expression. Anyway, yeah. He's a bit of a legend.
Yeah. Brandon, just picturing his face.
Yeah.
Brandon White, how does this declaration of love compare to what they do for marriage proposals? Marriage proposals is much less of a thing.
Yeah.
It's you'll see it because people imitate Hollywood and things like that. But proposing for marriage is much less of a thing than Biao Bai. Marriage is almost implied if you're dating.
If you're dating, you're going to get married.
Yeah.
There's a horrible thing in China that you have to be aware of if you're a man who's dating someone, is if you date someone for a bunch of years and then you break off the relationship, they can actually, they get their whole family and stuff and make you pay. They'll be like, you wasted my youth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's this, I did a video about it
It's
at
a
some
thing.
point. But it's a thing where, you know, if you're dating someone seriously, it means you're going to get married pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for a lot of foreigners when they get into a relationship in China. They don't realize how serious it is.
Yeah.
And marriage starts to get spoken about real quick in a relationship. Like within the first month, usually you'll hear a little bit of this.
Yeah, you have to make it clear in a relationship that you're not out to get married and you're not out to be serious. You can't be the chivalrous man and be like, yeah, I'm going to play the long game here. You have to tell them up front.
Yeah,
it's pretty immoral otherwise.
And it's tough to understand as a foreigner because, you know, relationships are seen as much more serious in China.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you get that thing where they will actually, if you break off I can't remember, there's a special word for it. You know what I'm talking about? And they expect you to pay like a huge fine. Like, you know, the family will come after you and stuff and be like, you wasted her youth. She could have been married and, you know, all that shit already.
That's definitely a more rural thing, by the way.
Yeah, but dude, it does happen.
People date around a lot more in the cities.
Yeah, but I mean, you say it's a more rural thing. Where do you think everyone's coming from?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell
areas.
people, like, not everyone is like this.
No, of course
You know
not.
what
But I mean, I've run into
it happens. You're right.
the majority of the girls I dated, because I wasn't dating the foreign hangout.
Yeah,
you know,
for
the ones
sure.
that hang around foreigners.
I never dated them.
That's a different. You know, they're much more sophisticated. They're more
Sure.
like you know, what you'd expect.
Speak English and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff,
that's a different deal. But I mean, if you're dating an actual Chinese woman, they're generally pretty traditional.
Yeah.
And
by and
they
large.
start speaking about marriage real quick.
Yeah.
you know?
Definitely by and large.
Yeah.
Urbis Unitas says, do the rich guys getting rejected sometimes hurt the women when they throw the tantrums, or do they eventually just give up?
It's hard to say.
It can happen.
And they can definitely, like, if they're thuggish, they can definitely, like, send people to beat them up. Or
That
whatever.
definitely happens.
That happens for sure.
Dalmatian Daisy, Winston, what do you think of Blade Runner Oscar Pistorius being denied parole?
He shot his girlfriend.
Just good. Good
Yeah.
deny parole. Not shot girlfriend.
I'm
good.
sorry, but like I don't get involved in these weird drama things, but I can tell you that he just shot his girlfriend and tried to make an excuse that there was an invader.
Yeah, like why it's good that he's going away, right?
Yeah, if you shoot your girlfriend, like you're in your apartment and a so-called invader comes in, but your girlfriend's in the bathroom and you shoot through the bathroom door and kill her, murder her many times, you know, you shouldn't get parole.
Pretty easy, right?
Just because you're a sports douche doesn't mean that
I
you
don't know
get a
anything about
pass.
this, by the way.
Well,
I just know he has the same name as that foreigner that we covered.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, weirdo. But yeah, no, if you want to know about it, he just killed his girlfriend. He murdered her in the middle of the night. He
I was just trying to sound
and it was on
smart.
like Valentine's Day or something. So they obviously had a falling out.
Put him away.
No, seriously. I mean, if you're going to murder someone
don't murder
multiple
people.
times.
She had 9 lives, eh?
Well, I mean,
She's a
he's-
cat.
He like shot the shit out of her through the door.
okay.
I don't know how many times he hit her, but a lot.
Right.
Like he shot the shit out of her. And then he
Right.
was like, "Oh no!" But I just thought it was an intruder.
I think you're just upset that he didn't turn her into glue afterwards.
Yeah, maybe she was too wounded. You know.
Yeah, I
Well, I
guess
mean, he's bloody wounded. He's got no legs. You know. What?
What? He's got no legs?
No.
This story gets better the more you talk about it.
Why do you think he's called Blade Runner?
Oh. Dude, I don't know anything about this.
You should. He was like an Olympic dude.
I just care about the Olympics.
Just search Blade Runner and you'll see like, just type Oscar Blade Runner.
I mean, I've heard about this in the background.
See, he's like,
Oh, yeah.
so running around. He don't have legs, dude.
Sure, I've seen pictures of this dude.
Yeah, dude doesn't have legs. Shoots his girlfriend through a door. I think he deserves to stay in jail.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
You're gonna
mean,
get people to be like, you
no,
didn't
but
even
seriously,
know
he's
this
a
detail.
You got to watch out. He's a flight risk. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. The average Joe.
Running from the law. You know?
He is. Are there many Chinese cars in Vietnam and South Africa? Vietnam, actually, the majority we saw were Japanese cars, believe it or not. They get the real models.
Yeah, Vietnam's a bit weird that way. You would
Yeah.
expect to see Chinese stuff, but you don't. They like Japanese stuff.
But you know what for the people that can't afford the true Japanese vehicles, you know what we saw was Thailand built vehicles for Japanese brands being sold in Vietnam rather than Chinese vehicles, although we saw some.
South Africa does have Chinese vehicles. They've also got Indian vehicles.
Yeah.
You can buy like a Tata.
Yeah, Tata Nano.
And we don't get the Nanos, but you get those, I shouldn't say they. I don't live there.
Yeah,
Screw that place.
Anymore.
Tata, whatever, Indica or something. Those like pickup trucks, but like real cheap, horrible ones that are very bad.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I remember.
Yeah, so they do the Tata stuff, and they do sell the Great Wall brand there. You know, like
I'm offended.
Yeah, me too. But you know, that's South Africa's part of that BRICS thing. You know.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I used to have very high levels of safety standards in South Africa, but not for a long time.
They're gone now.
Yep.
I'm just trying to catch up here.
Sure.
Did you guys see the Sunny Hostin from The View saying, this is from Brian, from The View saying that the incarceration of African Americans is worse than what's happening in Xinjiang? I mean, she thought it was happening in Afghanistan. Did you see that clip?
No.
It's just, I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Daytime TV show hosts are not the least regarded people in the world.
No, they're not very smart.
I mean, The View, you could clip anything out of The View and it's going to be garbage, let's be honest.
Isn't that Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah, one of them.
Okay. I don't watch that stuff, so I'm sorry I didn't see it.
No, it's because it was coming up and people were like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
she's trying to make a comparison of African Americans being incarcerated to Uyghurs in Xinjiang, but she said Afghanistan. It was like mind-blowing.
Okay, I
Don't
mean,
make comparisons.
Yeah,
like that.
don't make comparisons at all. Whataboutism never works. Like address a problem without having to give another completely unrelated example.
Tim Focht says, "Did either of you do anything?" Actually, it almost sounds like, because remember, whenever the disinfo comes up from China, they always bring up the slavery and stuff in America, and they say, "Oh, you think Uyghurs? We don't incarcerate Uyghurs, but you incarcerate black people."
Yeah,
that's actually kind of verbatim what they were doing a year ago. Huh. Didn't think about it like that. Tim Fox says, did either of you do anything special like these college kids to get your wives? No. Didn't have to do anything special. We had normal.
I mean, I taught my wife how to ride a motorbike.
Yeah, but you have a relationship is the point.
Yeah,
I taught my wife how to ride a motorcycle too.
Well, I mean, that's how our relationship started.
Oh, started, you're saying.
So,
yeah, I gotcha.
You know, she wanted, obviously, she was interested in me, but she wanted to learn how to ride a motorbike. So I used to meet up with her and teach her how to ride a bike.
Yeah, that's right.
And then that kind of led to our relationship eventually.
Right. My point was proposing.
No, none of that. I mean, I did a normal proposal, but I just did it at home.
Yeah.
I didn't do some weird thing out. That cringes me out, by the way.
Yeah, I did it and no one was around.
Yeah.
I just next to a lake.
Yeah, I just proposed it in an apartment.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Not a question from UD says, but a lot of inventions came about by accident, Winston.
Yes, I am aware.
Yeah.
But is that an invention or a discovery? See, I'd say that's more of a discovery than an invention.
Depends on what it is, right?
I mean, you can't just it rains on the ground and you step in mud and you're like, I invented mud. Doesn't work that way. Seriously.
If it did, life would be pretty easy.
Yeah,
Getting patents for everything.
That's just really a discovery.
Let's go make some patents.
Yeah. If you were to then take that mud and make something out of it, that could be an invention.
Yeah.
You know?
Belshazzar. Which dynasty? I don't mean to just want to harp on about this.
Yeah.
What dynasty would you want to live in? I'm either Ming or early Han. Things seem stable for a decent while. Probably Qing dynasty because we're all the way up to modern times, kind of. And I feel like I could me speaking Mandarin in the Qing dynasty, I would still be understood. Prior to that, I wouldn't be understood at all.
Yeah. I probably just wouldn't want to live in any of those dynasties.
Yeah, probably. That's probably just better not to. Bushang 1 million. If South Africa had an emperor, would they make the whole country drink methylated spirits?
Possibly.
What?
Possibly. Yeah. It already does, though.
Does it? It makes them?
No, I'm just saying the whole country does drink methylated spirits.
Do they?
No, I'm just kidding. Only the sort of poor people do.
Yeah.
Homeless people and stuff.
Sure. .dev.
It's a different kind of meth addiction.
Different kind of meth.
Yeah.
Different flavor of meth.
Yeah.
It's the blue kind.
It's purple, actually.
It's purple, sorry.
Yeah.
.dev. Have you checked out the Mainland Media channel on Discord? I have shared a Biao Bai clip there where a student confessed to a teacher. There are also some other clips there that might interest you guys. We'll definitely check it out. Dylan says, "Where be the communist leprechaun?"
Oh yeah, it's been a while since we've seen him. He's just a leprechauning around, with his pot of gold. He's like homeless in a trailer.
Yeah, he is actually. Gokarna Barandi says, "Did you see the reply to your TikTok bill video done by Louis Rossman?"
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, this is what it is, I guess.
There's nothing to say about that. I left a comment. You can go see my comment.
I didn't know who he was, and then he made some big thing.
He just complained. He's a very complainy person.
Fair enough. JMR's desk. Do you eat oysters with their little worms? Yeah, because your stomach can kill them.
I don't eat oysters.
David Neufeld, are those in China who reject the whole Biao Bai nonsense and get together in a more considerate and reasonable way? Of course, there's a lot of people that do that, but that's not what you see, right?
No.
What you see is big public displays.
And also, we're talking about like a kind of a majority thing, and people,
to a certain extent,
the Biao Bai thing is very common.
Honestly, all of my Chinese friends definitely Biao Bai'd.
Yeah,
they did actually.
It's like a common thing.
It wasn't
as
cringe.
Yeah, it's a college university type thing. It's normal.
Yeah, and one time, like one of my Chinese friends Biao Bai'd when we were all at dinner one time. It happens,
Did he win?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Because she was already hanging out with us and stuff.
All right.
But, yeah.
Did he have to give her like 10 iPhones?
No.
See that stupid Faraday bought like shit ton of new iPhones for his dog. You remember that?
Yeah.
That pisses me off. Like the latest, because in China when the new iPhone comes out, like it's incredibly expensive. It's like not double, but it's almost double the price of if you were to buy it in America sometimes. Yeah. Especially when it's just being released.
Yeah.
Because the
commodity.
funny thing is it gets released overseas before it gets released in China, even though they're made in China. So like what'll happen is when they're just coming out, the hype is huge. Like, the new iPhone 10 or whatever is coming out. And Chinese people will travel overseas to buy it, or they will smuggle them in and pay exorbitant prices just to have the latest iPhone. So this douchebag bought like 10 iPhones for his husky dog, and posted on his Instagram the dog like chewing on them and stuff, just to like flex. That pisses me off.
Yeah. Yudi says, "Does Winston encourage turning ex-girlfriends into glue, asking for a friend?" This is becoming lore. Definitely turning women to glue. And chauvinism, sexism from Winston's gonna be a thing.
No, dude. I believe in the equality of everybody, as long as you're not an asshole.
Yeah,
yeah.
What's the Bible quote? Don't be a dick, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Sam Windmill says, "I saw the funniest Jesus meme the other day."
Oh, yeah, what was that?
I'll show it next time.
Okay, all right.
Sam Windmill, are you guys saying you're into dating market for birds?
Well, in sort of British slang and South African slang, you do call girls birds.
Yeah. She's a
Dating
fit bird.
Yeah.
I just thought that was weird. It's like, well, I'm thinking of this bird that's in good shape and like.
Well, you say chick, right?
I don't. I mean, I say it as
It's not the same thing.
Yeah, no, it is. It is like a baby chicken, I guess.
Yeah, but it's strange. I wonder how that came across.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why,
it's definitely an 80s. I say it like a
avian?
throwback.
Why
is it avian? Birds are beautiful, and so are women.
Yeah, you don't say like, "Hey, that's a nice pup," or
We're getting you.
You know what I mean?
Think of those dog masks. You're making me think of those dog masks again.
It's just weird that it's birds. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know those dog masks.
I know. I hate those things.
That's a thing.
So gross.
That's a thing.
So weird.
Please never get me one of those.
Why would I get you a dog
as a
mask?
gag gift.
No.
No pun intended.
It is a gag gift.
What have I done?
Oh, anyway, let's move on. Let's move on.
Just turn me into glue, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shit, get me out of here.
Exactly. By the way, like a racehorse, you should either shoot him or you put him out to pasture,
Yeah, I would put him out to pasture. I wouldn't shoot him.
No, I wouldn't either.
No. Sorry, I'm just catching up here. Raw pork challenge. No.
Screw that. The parasite challenge, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Mr. Keys. Winston, did you finish the RE4 remake yet? I just finished it last night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I finished it in like 2 days.
Nice.
I loved it. My first playthrough was 13 hours.
Oh.
I'm actually on my second playthrough right now.
Nice.
It's what I do when I put the kid to bed, and I play like when I get a little bit of spare time. So I'm usually playing that. Or like last night, spending the whole freaking night freezing my ass off in this weather, trying to fix my Firebird because it sucks. Not the Trans Am,
It'd be nice to have a heated garage.
Yeah, the old Trans Am's great. That thing's
Winston, because it's cold, but we can't open the door, so he'll run his car with the garage door shut sometimes.
No,
you have a threshold.
I'll die. I got to be careful of that stuff. Yeah, but yeah, this piece of junk like the '90s Firebird, where they were trying to like move over to fuel injection, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zilong says, do you guys expect to see more anti-foreigner racism and perhaps attack on Chinese foreigner couples in the future more than even the early 2000s, 2010s? Let's not inspire anyone, but I hope not.
I hope not. It just depends on the political landscape because that's what determines it.
In China, I think you'll see an uptick of that.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Nagasaki, not a question, but the story of the pizza maker. The other day, we received an order for 70 pizzas, and 1 hour later, 60 and then 50 from Scientology.
Whoa.
What? So Scientology makes him irritate. Huh.
Oh, okay.
Sorry you had to go through that.
Makes me irritate at the
Scientology gives you a lot of business, apparently.
Yeah. Well, they'll give you something else, too, if you're not careful. Give you, like, aliens in your gut or something.
No, they'll put you on an e-meter.
Yeah, that's true. Rogue Noir says, What's with women in China wanting a guy to have a house and a car before marrying? I have a problem with the second part, especially the streets are overcrowded in China with good public transit. That's just a thing. I mean, it shows that you're financially stable.
That's what it really is. Because remember, unfortunately, you're not really marrying just a woman, you're marrying her family in China. And it's
like a good investment.
It's one of those things where they have to make sure, they have to make sure, is everything okay? Is he going to be able to look after us in our old age?
Yeah. Also, though, if you were able to communicate that you have money, and then they wouldn't give a shit about the car. If they knew you're rich, they don't care. It's not like it's like a thing that you say. It's like that just means you're moneyed. Right?
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's an investment. If you've got a son in China, you're guaranteed that they'll look after you when you're old. But when you've got a daughter in China, the guarantee's not there. So the only way that you can get money is to marry her off to someone who has money type thing.
Yes.
Then you'll be, okay. What's that?
UD888 says, does Winston often get you dog mask gags as a gift? Sorry, I love you, Winston.
No.
Please don't.
Never.
Don't do it. I can't handle it. It's one of those things. I just can't do it.
Leave it up to the U.S. military. They can they can keep doing that mask thing or whatever.
Yeah. They all do that, right?
A lot of them.
According to you.
Yeah.
I believe that was an outlier situation. Sonics, I made a presentation about the CCP and their crimes and got the best grade possible.
Oh,
I don't know how grades work in the U.S., but in Austria, I got a 1. Great job, Sonics. We're proud of you.
Wait, is 1 is good?
Probably. It's probably the best.
Well, then that's fantastic.
That's awesome.
No, if you got a 1 when it came to a grade over here, I think that means you failed.
Yeah, but I think it's the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got the best grades.
Okay, because you're number 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, that's a way better way of doing grades.
It is
ranked,
actually. Yeah.
I got number 1.
Yeah, that's
that
actually
makes
good.
sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
And some memes like pissing on the frog and born to fly. Oh yeah, we'll give you a meme.
I'll throw you a piss on the frog.
What is born to fly?
I don't know.
Do we have a meme called born to fly?
I don't think so. What is this one?
Is that
I've got the
leprechaun?
Oh, do you? Yeah.
I'm a leprechaun, me dear.
These are questions from last time. Question for Winston. If you had to send someone abroad to China who believes poverty... Why is this for Winston? I know geographics and demographics better.
Doesn't matter what.
Anyway, who believes poverty has truly been alleviated to change their minds? Which province would you send them to make them reconsider?
Probably Guizhou.
Yeah, I wouldn't send them to Guizhou anymore.
Oh yeah, because they've put so much money into the infrastructure there.
For propaganda.
Yeah, then I'd send them probably Sichuan or somewhere central like that. What do you think?
Sichuan's got too much national attention right now. I would probably send them to Gansu.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to have media attention like Xinjiang or something.
Yeah.
But it's also someplace that no one goes to.
I mean, how about this?
Lanzhou had really poor infrastructure.
I would send them to anywhere in China and get them to go an hour out of the main
That's
cities.
the best way to do. You could go anywhere.
Even Beijing.
Yeah.
Or Shanghai.
Just go an hour or two outside of those main cities.
Yeah, in fact, I'd send them to all the major cities and say, drive an hour out of the city.
Yeah.
And see what you see.
That would be more apt.
Yeah, because then it's because you can always like say, "Oh, I've been put into a rural area."
Yeah.
And that you could go do that in America. Go to like some rural farm area, and you're like, "Wow, the infrastructure sucks in America."
Right.
It's not like that, but you have to put them in like the best of the best city and see how it degrades rapidly.
Yeah.
It's like shiny and everything works and all the infrastructure's there, and then it becomes crappy and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
So I do that.
Go an hour outside of Changsha and tell me where you're at.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You'll see some crazy things.
Yeah. Also, 5 months bloody patron sub waiting for the bloody knockoff gaming consoles vid.
Oh, right.
It's because we polled it and people voted against it. We'll put it in today's poll.
Yeah, put it in today's poll for sure.
With the other topic.
Yeah.
Question for Matt. What's the intro for the Xiàbān Hòu?
Yeah.
We answered that earlier. I would pay you in clams. Would you reconsider Hainan being a dogshit province? I swear it's actually a good place to adventure around. I absolutely disagree. I've been around all of Hainan, all of it, on a motorcycle, not on a bus.
Yeah.
It sucks. And do you know why? It's an island, just like Taiwan, which is very close, and it is abysmal in comparison.
Yeah, you can't
if
even
Taiwan's
compare.
a 10, then Hainan in comparison is a 1.
Yeah,
it's
like a
awful.
2.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
If you go to Sanya and Haikou, if you're going to compare those cities to your average Chinese city, it's a little better.
Yeah.
But I don't like it because it's all
Tourist trap.
arbitrary, tourist trap. Everything's new. It's the kind of vibe of China that I hate. That new, moneyed, like, let's just build a bunch of shit and it has no feeling. I hate that about China. That's one thing I hate about it.
Yeah, you can't feel any kind of history or anything there.
When you're in the rural areas of Hainan, nothing has been preserved. It's all been demolished. I mean, half the island was frickin' Mao Zedong camps. My family members went to Hainan. They got sent there for the forced labor thing.
Yeah.
It's just poor, run-down, hot jungle, but it's not fun nature.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's a bad place.
Go to Taiwan, dude.
Yeah.
Not a province of China.
Yeah. Your tier list was the first result when Googling worst province in China. Oh, that's great. I'm glad. I'm glad. I still can't believe Henan and Lanzhou is a higher tier than Hainan. Henan has more Chinese culture. It's horribly polluted and disgusting, but it has more Chinese culture. Dude. It's like the cradle of Han civilization.
I don't like it at all.
Lanzhou is not a province, but Gansu I think is much more interesting. Western China has way better food than Hainan. That's for gosh darn sure.
Yeah, unless you just like seafood.
Yeah, no, and just the people I met in Gansu are so nice and so fun and jovial and like want to meet you and stuff, and people in Hainan are not outward and outgoing like that.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's just
true.
how it is. Anyway, I'm not fighting you on this, but you brought it up.
Yeah, that's true.
Robert Malzate. In conclusion, Hainan's the worst province in China. I recently heard that China has shifted their focus from cheap manufacturing to advanced specialized manufacturing and service industries. In my opinion, it's all BS, and the Chinese Russian bots nowadays are everywhere.
It is. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
UD888, can you guys talk about alcohol flush allergies? We're actually going to talk about allergies, and alcohol flush is going to be part of today's vote.
Yes.
Compared to the knockoff gamings.
Yes.
Can you talk about bragging? Oh, sorry, that was from last time. Okay.
Yeah, let's do the poll.
Yeah, let me just make sure I didn't make
Yeah.
That trash movie, the fake Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. Just making sure we didn't miss any here.
Do you want to see some absolute disgusting, ridiculous movie? Look up, what is it? China Salesman. The China Salesman.
Yeah, China Salesman.
I think it's called China Salesman. It's got Steven Seagal and Mike Tyson in it, but not at the same time. Even though they pretend like they're fighting each other, it's literally like they shot it at different times in the same room.
Yeah. You showed me earlier.
And it's got one of those stupid, like, hold up the Chinese flag and then the African terrorists won't attack you. They will actually, like, protect you and stuff. It's really ridiculous. It's free on YouTube. You can find someone's uploaded it.
Yes.
So you want to see something very bad? Look up China Salesman. Yeah. And I think it's about, like, a Chinese guy who stole 3G technology and then just, like, let everyone have it. Or something. It's apparently based on a true story.
Nice.
Yeah.
I bet it was. And actually, we watched up to the end. I won't spoil it, but it's the justification for what happened is shocking and very, like, helps you peer into Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, so if you really have nothing better to do, watch The China Salesman.
Yes.
Or China
It's
Salesman.
real bad.
It's awful.
Really bad.
Yeah. Mike Tyson speaks, and that's even worse.
He's the worst actor I've ever seen in my life.
He's very bad.
Yeah. I mean, not that you'd expect anything.
No, but he is so bad as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get punched in the face. So
no,
let's continue.
Yeah.
Next poll. Don't forget to vote, guys. Right now we have Let's Play Knockoff Chinese Games, which is we actually got a knockoff Chinese Nintendo from China.
Yep.
And we're going to be playing not licensed games, but unlicensed
Just
bullshit
rubbish
knockoff games. Or why do people turn red when they drink booze / allergies? I have a very in-depth analysis of that, and I understand that if you think it could be answered very quickly, but it's not. It's actually very in depth about why people turn red when they drink alcohol, and this happens all over China, and it's actually a huge warning.
All over
sign.
Asia.
All over Asia. It's a huge warning sign, and I learned about it in depth the other day from a science podcast.
Sounds
anyway,
fascinating.
but also allergy culture. And the idea that allergies can be cured in China or that they don't exist, period, and then people just dying. And then instead of people dying from the allergy, like a peanut allergy, they were just weak.
Yes.
We have a whole explanation about that because that's a widely held belief that allergies are not real.
Yeah.
So vote on that. I'll wait until like maybe 50 votes, and then we'll have a thing.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, people are whining. I understand why you're whining. I'm whining too about why we haven't done the Chinese games thing for so long. It's because you guys keep voting against it. We always put it up to vote, and it's lost, 2 or 3 times now. So
Well, let's see if it'll actually win this time, because it could be
see
fun.
if it'll win. And don't downplay the turning red with booze topic. It's actually pretty interesting.
I'm not downplaying it all.
You said, wow, it sounds interesting, and you gave me a dead gray look.
Because it sounds boring. That's why. I know it is like it's something that is good to discuss.
You made me feel like a wingless woman.
Like I don't know, what do you call those carbuncles or whatever? What do you call those things in your foot or whatever? Like a corn? It's like a medical thing.
Yeah, but it's good to know why. I think people can walk away from it.
I don't know why
with
people
knowledge.
get corns or whatever those things are called.
Yeah, but that's not a life-threatening thing.
I think it could be.
Don't look at me like a woman without wings. You look like you want to turn me into glue.
Broken wings, okay?
Okay, sorry.
Broken
wings.
Broken wings. It's usually only one.
Yeah, one. Yeah, did you ever see a killdeer?
No.
It's a type of bird. It's regarded because it lays its eggs on the ground.
Oh, and it pretends to be dead or whatever?
Yeah, but so whenever anything comes, and it does it in your driveway. It's pretty common for it to do in your driveway.
Yeah.
So you go by it, and then the mother bird acts like it has a broken wing and like flops around so that it'll drag you away from the bird.
Right.
How about you just lay it in a tree?
Yeah.
Then you don't have to act like a broken wing bird.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's like dumbest evolution ever, but it's funny.
Some pretty dumb evolutions, yeah.
There are, yeah. Sea milk glue.
All right.
3 more votes. We need 3 more votes. Because it could swing it, actually.
Oh, good. 3 votes could swing it.
Good. Come on, guys. Let's finish this off.
Kind of feel like I want to play games next week. And
I want to, but I'm democratic.
Not talk about like alcohols.
I prefer the games too.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be biased because it's not our choice.
No, sure.
Democratic show.
That's why it's up to you guys.
48 votes. Yeah, now it can't be swung. All right, let me end it.
Excellent.
Let's play Chinese knockoff games.
That's what we're doing next week. That's
Nice.
excellent.
That's going to be mad fun.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. We could talk about the alcohol thing next.
Oh, no. I mean, we'll always put it up to votes,
for vote.
but
Yeah, we'll
I'm
always have a
happy to
couple.
kill off the topic if people are not interested. So
No, I mean, just keep it going until somebody picks it eventually.
Watermelon the weir, dude.
It's kind of like, when you're not good at sports and people are like, hey, we want this person, and you're the last one.
You're the
That
last
kinda
pick.
sucks. Yeah.
It does suck.
Yeah. I've been there. I suck.
You've been
at
the
sports.
last pick?
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
It's
What
okay.
sport was it?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I'm bad at sports, so I don't blame them.
You can't be terrible. You have decent coordination.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. I suck at sports though, just because
okay.
it's never been an interest of mine.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah. All right. Bye, guys. We love
Cheers.
you, and thank you very much.
Have a great one. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. It's always nice. It's our favorite time of the week. Can't wait to see you in the next episode, you're putting out a video this week, right?
I am, yeah. Trying to figure out. I'm between 2 topics right now.
Somewhere in between. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for everybody who watched my Chinese EV video.
Yeah, going viral.
Yeah, it's doing very well, and I appreciate the support very much. So thank you. And yeah, we'll see you on the Friday show, and we'll see him. He'll see you in his video this week. Until then,
Yes.
stay awesome, and I'll cut myself off. 5, 4.